This is a story time about the time I dated the school shooter. This might be a long story, so please bear with me. Before you form any opinions on anyone in the story, please wait all the way until the end. Trust me, you're gonna want to listen to this story time. There was this boy who went to my school and he was really shy and he got bullied a lot. He got bullied a lot because he was a lot more feminine than other guys. And I'm just the type of person to give people the benefit of the doubt, so I went ahead and started talking to him more to see the type of person that he actually was. He didn't sit with anybody during lunch, so one day I went up to him and I sat down right next to him and I started talking to him. Immediately, I loved this boy, everything about him. He was extremely sweet and considerate and understanding, and I knew that if other people took the time to get to know him, they would like him too. So we exchanged numbers and we started to FaceTime a lot. As we started to FaceTime more, I started to notice things that were a little off about him. Every single conversation that we had, he would always have to bring up about how much he hated this one boy in his tech class and how he would shoot up the school just to get rid of him. I thought it was just a joke and he was just saying that. Until he kept saying it. He started being so serious about it and he started planning it out and exactly what he would do when he did it. That started to scare me, and so I decided that I was going to record one of these conversations, just in case. During that conversation, he said he planned to shoot up the school the next day. He said, in these exact words, "Fuck it, you know what? I'm just gonna do it tomorrow." Then he tells me to not come to school the next day. That's when I know that he was actually being serious. Immediately after, I started writing up an email to the school around 12:05 a.m. Most of the time, the teachers don't ever email you back unless the school day has already started. That morning, for some reason, everything in my gut was telling me I sent the email too late. They're not gonna open it in time. They're not gonna see it in time. My mom just thought that I was sick that day, so I told her that I was gonna take a walk around the neighborhood. And I totally forgot to mention that he lived in my neighborhood. I told my mom I was going on a walk, but I was actually going to his house to tell his parents. By the time I got there, his mom told me that the dad is driving him to school. I told her his plan, let her listen to the recording. So she checked where the dad put the gun and it was not there. She called the dad to tell him to check his bag. The dad said he had already dropped him off at school and he was halfway home. His tech class was first period. I didn't even tell my mama where I was going. I hopped in the car with my boyfriend's mom and we zoomed. The dad had taken a U-turn and he was speeding towards the school too. At this point, first period was about to start in 5 minutes. It was us against time. We were passing cars, running red lights. When we got to the school, the mom barely parked the car. The dad was already in there, I'm pretty sure. But as we were running inside, the dad was coming out with my boyfriend. In the school, I'm guessing the dad told them that there was like an emergency dentist appointment or something. Once they got in the car, the dad made my boyfriend open his bag, and there was the gun. Child, the way my heart... You hear that? That's how fast my heart was beating at the time. It was so hard to believe that he actually brought that gun to school, like he was actually going to carry out that plan. But from what I've seen, he was just so sweet and just does not seem like that type of guy at all. Mind you, his family was a very respected family in our neighborhood. They were super sweet. Everybody loved them. They just knew that the son was antisocial. After all this happened, I did not tell anybody about this. Like, I'm a real bitch. I did not tell my best friends. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell nobody. Some time had passed and I hadn't talked to him. He wasn't coming to school and I was actually blocked on all socials. Even his parents blocked me. Went to his house multiple times, knocked on the door, nobody answered. Eventually someone told me that they moved, but everyone in the neighborhood was so confused. But I kept my mouth shut. Like I said, I'm a real bitch. I needed to find the answers as to why. Why did he want to get rid of that tech guy so bad? Well. So I went to tech first period just to see who was all in the classroom. I didn't actually go in the classroom, I was just standing outside the classroom. Based on where my ex was saying that he sat in the room, I figured out who the tech guy was. As soon as the bell rang for first period to be over, I ran to that tech class. I stopped that guy that my boyfriend was talking about. I told him everything. And that is when he admitted to me that one day, they were hanging out, mind you, this boy is a senior, my ex was a sophomore. They hooked up, but my ex was ashamed of what he did, so he threatened to say that he was taken advantage of. That boy said, well, I'm gonna tell people the truth then if you're gonna do that. So basically, my ex was embarrassed of his sexuality. Guessing after we started dating, he started to get super ashamed of what he did. And that's why he decided to shoot up the school.
Story time about my manipulative ex-boyfriend. So whenever we first started dating, he was really sweet. We would hang out all the time, and we had such good chemistry. And you know, we were Snapchatting because I lived like a few hours away from him. And he goes, all my exes have hurt me in the past. Now us women, that makes us think, oh, I want to be the girl who doesn't hurt him. And I was like, well, how many ex-girlfriends have you had? He goes, like 9. And at that time, I was blinded about how happy I was to be dating him to actually realize that was a red flag. And then this motherfucker says, so please don't be mad at me if I do something that might hurt you. It's just because I've been hurt so many times. Implying if he were to cheat on me, I shouldn't be mad because he's been hurt so many times. Red motherfucking flag alert, bitch. So pretty much I got into an argument with him after that, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, I just don't want you to be surprised. Well, me being the stupid, dumb fucking bitch that I am, left it at that and didn't end the relationship there. This is the definition of ignoring all red flags. So I started to wonder who all these, like, ex-girlfriends were. And since I wasn't from around where he lived, I had to do a whole fucking FBI investigation to find at least one of these exes. She was like, oh, he literally does that to every girl. And then told me all the tea about how her and all of his 9 exes were actually best friends. And that he was the one who actually cheated on all of them with each other. And she goes, I didn't even know you guys were dating. He never told anybody up here. Because he was hooking up with other bitches up there. I ended up breaking up with him, but ladies, take notes. This is a red flag. Story time about how my sister and I almost got beat up by a 40-year-old man. So there was this one girl who would bully my sister and I on the bus in elementary school. Well, one day we told the principal, and the principal called her dad. And she made up this whole story about the only reason why she did it to us was because we were bullying her. So the next day, after we told the principal, her dad was at the bus stop. And he comes up to us, taps us both on the shoulder, and says, if you guys ever bully my daughter again, I will hold you down while me, her, and her sister beat the shit out of you guys. So we got to the school that day and we called our dad. We told him what happened, but he was kind of questioning it. Until our neighbor actually walked up to our house and knocked on the door and told my dad. And I guess at the bus stop, everybody kind of looked at the guy like, are you fucking crazy? Because my dad at the time was a bodybuilder. And he was like, what the fuck is he gonna do? So, he called the school. We ended up going to court. And my dad, like, at court was literally like, if you ever lay a hand on my daughters again or, like, threaten my daughters like that, I will literally kill you. The judge yelled at my dad for that. And then, he had to apologize to us. And because basically, like, he threatened us. And then, like, he got in trouble a little bit more for that. And, like, they did some other stuff that I don't really remember. But he wasn't allowed near us. He wasn't allowed to go to the bus stop anymore. He wasn't allowed near the school. If we were at the school, like, it was traumatizing.